This is tip number 13 for GrowThyme. And today's tip is all about basic plant care, just basic things that you need, like the 101. First, you need to establish how much space you have to grow your plants. Once you've established how much space you have, then you have to establish the location. So here's gonna be a raised bed, and here's gonna be a this, and here's gonna be a that. Then you need to select a good soil by first establishing the soil that you have, and most of the time you need to add a little bit more compost, add vermiculite, add perlite, and add a nice fertilizer, and you should be good. Don't worry, I'll still talk about all those fancy words that I just mentioned. Then we have to establish what we're going to grow and if that crop is going to work in the location that we have provided. Otherwise, we just need to move it more into the sun, or this plant wants less sun, that sort of things. The exciting things are starting to happen now. Then it's very important to remember to water your garden properly. Overwatering or underwatering is very dangerous, and pulling out weeds is also essential. It doesn't just look good. There are other benefits that we can still talk about in other videos. Once you've planted your seeds and you're giving it water and your weeds are out, remember to add mulch. It's very important because there are actually a lot of benefits, and we can still talk about that more in a different video. It's also very important to rotate your crops every season because it actually prevents and helps against pests and diseases, and it protects your soil for longer. Things like tomato, or they're very acidic, and after the third or fourth time that soil is actually useless. You need to add more nutrients and all kinds of things. Or if you live in an area with a lot of poor Jacksons also just take everything out of the soil. And then you need to remember that maintenance is key. And this is where I feel a lot of gardeners lack, because it's a constant keeping up. It's a constant pulling out weeds. It's a constant watering. It's a constant everything. So it's not as simple as just poop in the ground and poop, I've got a flower. And finally, it's also very important to know when to harvest each plant, and they each have their own requirements, so that you need to go and look into further. But don't worry, I will make a video about this also eventually. And to close it off, remember I have a website where all of this information is always available to you for free. Happy planting!